Good morning. Welcome to Camping with Zeus. My name is Antonio. We're going to talk about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And we're going to talk about something that a lot of people don't know a lot about this subject. Okay? We're going to talk about the black and gray tanks and the watch station that it's near. Okay? So I'm going to look at the camera here a little bit, and you're going to see some stuff here. Okay? And I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this section. Okay? This is where you find a watch station, your cable connection, 110 plugs. You're going to find your water pump switch. You're going to find your black tank clean out. You're going to find your freshwater tank fill. You're going to find your low point drains, and then you're going to find your black tank valve and your gray tank valve. So let's talk a little bit about black and gray tank. Okay, gray tank is going to be water that's coming from your sinks, bathroom sinks, kitchen sinks, and your shower. Okay, your black tank, water from your black tank is going to come from your toilet, and your toilet only. You could have, some campers have one toilet, some campers have two. It all depends on the size, the model. Okay? Let's take a look at some things regarding a black and gray tank. Most campers and RVs have about a 35 to 40 gallon tank of fresh water and gray water, or gray tank, and black water or black tank. Okay, most campers, they average about that size. All right, this particular model has a 75 gallon freshwater tank, a 40 gallon black tank, and a 40 gallon gray tank. This is a 2006 Fleetwood Bounder 20th year anniversary, so they made things a little bit special. Okay, when you go to a camping site and you have full service, you have a sewer dump right there at your site, and most times when you have that, you also have water and electric and cable. Okay, let's talk about etiquette when it comes to dumping and proper procedure as well. Never, ever, 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 ever dump your gray tank and or your black tank into open environment. It's against the law, and it contaminates this beautiful earth. Okay, and it smells to high heaven. So if you dump near your site, you're going to stink up a quarter square mile of your feces. Okay, plain and simple. Okay, and gray water, while people think it's okay to dump gray water, it actually stinks too. Think about it. Okay, we have bodily waste in gray water. You brush your teeth, right? It's body waste. It's going to smell. Okay, it's going to be an odor to it. So when you dispose of gray water and black water, you have to do it in a proper container, proper vessel, which means a sewer dump. It's either going to be on your site or it's going to be at a dump station at the campgrounds. Usually they have 2 or 3. You get in line, you wait your turn, you go and dump, you clean up, and you leave for your next site. Okay? A lot of people don't know how to use a black and gray tank. When do I flush it? Do I keep the valves open? Why does it stink so bad? I'm going to answer all these questions for you. And just to give you an idea, I do have a lot of experience with camping. I've been camping with a Class A since 2012. And I've gone through 2 RVs. And I've been through hundreds of campsites and campgrounds, okay? We're going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to talk a little bit about the stuff that's at the wash station, okay? Now, if you take a look here, you know, we're going to start up here. This is the wash station. It's going to be on the driver's side always, okay? Here's your water pump. Turn it on or off. This is your cable. Satellite ready, because I got a dish, and it's got a phone connection. I have input for power. I have a wash station, which I modified, okay? I connected a hose straight to the faucet, and I connected an 8-foot hose so that we can wash our feet and whatever. This white cap here is fresh water, city water connection, okay? This is your bypass valve. A lot of people get this screwed up. And if you take a look here, it says fill tank. And if you have a bypass valve, this is going to go to your black tank flush. If you turn this here, you're going to fill your fresh water tank that's in the front. If you turn it down and you put a hose in here and turn on the water, it's going to go into the black tank. And there's a little nozzle inside that spins, and it's going to clean out your black tank. Does it work all the time? No. Especially if it freezes. And then you have your low point drain. Okay? This is for your hot, this is for your cold. When you winterize, you open those up, and then you siphon RV antifreeze into the line, and it comes out here pink, so you know that it went through the system. Okay, I made a modification. I teed off at a line that's up here with a valve and a hose connection, because I run a hose out to the back for a sink, okay? And then I can turn that on and off. This is coming from the fresh water tank, and it can come also from the city water. And then you have your connection here for your black and gray tank. Let's take a look at these, okay? You have a smaller PVC pipe, and you have a bigger PVC pipe, okay? The smaller PVC pipe is for your gray water. Your bigger PVC pipe is for your black water or your wastewater, and you have a cap. That's all that is a cap. These are your gates, okay? If they're pushed all the way in, that means they're closed. If you pull on them, then you're going to open the gates up. You always want to make sure they stay closed, okay? And you want to check them periodically to make sure they're working okay. When I winterize, I always throw some antifreeze, RV antifreeze, down the black and gray, so the water, the antifreeze, sits right here at the valve. And the reason why I do that is to prevent any water from freezing around that valve. Because if that happens, your valve is going to crack, and you don't want that to happen, okay? And it's very easy to replace these valves. You got 4 bolts in each one. You drop down the Y, and then you can replace these valves. All right? And then, of course, if you look down here, you have your gate cap that's for your hose, and then you have another cap here. It's for like a water hose that comes in here, or cable, or electric, depending on how you're set up. Most of the time, it's not. It depends. If you connect something to this, you can run it down this hole right here. Okay. All right. A lot of people want to know or don't know how to empty a black and gray water tank, and this is exactly how you do it. But first, let's do an analogy, okay? A lot of people say, do I empty it when I'm half full, or 3/4 full, or 1/4 full? When do I empty a black tank? And here's the answer. I want you to think of your black tank as a toilet, okay, in your house. And the tank in the back that holds the water in your house, when you push the valve, it opens up a gate and allows that water in the tank to go through the toilet, right? Goes out the holes, and then it causes a spinning action, and then it pushes that wastewater down the pipe, okay? Think about this. Do you want that water to be full in your tank, or half full, or quarter full? Would you prefer it? The answer is you want it full, right? Because you're creating two things. You're creating volume and force when you're flushing a toilet. If you go to the bathroom and you want to flush a toilet and remove human waste, and your tank is only a quarter full, you're not going to create enough volume and force to push that waste down the pipe. What's going to happen? You're going to have remaining debris, right? So what's going to happen then? It's going to sit there, it's going to fester, it's going to stink up the room, right? Until you flush it completely. So this is how you flush a black water tank. When you get to the site, if you are, regardless if you're on a full service site, or regardless if you are on a non-full service site, meaning you don't have sewer, this is how you do it. You keep your black water tank closed, you keep your gray water tank closed. You monitor the tanks with your sensor that you have. You push the button that says gray tank, black tank, and it tells you how full it is. Keep in mind that sometimes those sensors don't work all the time. Usually, most of the time, it's because there's debris on it, like maybe tissue paper, toilet paper, right? And what happens is it covers the sensors, and then when humidity starts forming, there's their electrical connection, and it gives a false reading. Okay, but you have visual sensors, visual cues on if your gray water tank is full and your black water tank is full, and these are the cues. There's a safety feature in every single camper that has a shower. The shower is the low point, or the lowest point in the gray water cycle, okay? If you see water coming out of the shower drain and it's pooling there in the shower, that means that your gray water tank is almost full, okay? And you need to empty it, because if you don't, that water is going to come out of the shower, unless it's a tub. Then you got a lot more time. But if it's a shower, you don't have much time, because if you keep pouring water into the tank, it's going to end up overflowing, going all over the RV. So when you see water building up in a shower pan, that's a signal that your gray water tank is full, okay? Your black water tank also has a signal. Worst case scenario is if you don't ever open up your toilet trap and there's water inside the tank that's filling up either by accident or you just forget. The worst case scenario is you come up your breather pipe, okay? And you don't never want that to happen. But here's the sign. Your black tank is a complete system all the way up to the toilet. It's a sealed system. That's why they have a cap inside the toilet, because it acts like a P valve or a P pipe, so that when you are done going to the bathroom and that valve is closed, you're not going to smell any fumes, get any fumes in the camper. Otherwise, it's going to smell, okay? But if you open up that trap to flush and you see water right below that toilet, that's a huge indication that your black water tank is at its max, okay? You want to wait till your black water tank is full. When your black water tank is full and you're still camping, it's time to empty. You go outside Okay, now this is if you have full service. If you have full service and you have a sewer pipe connected to your connection up here going down to the sewer, okay, you can open up your valve and discharge your black water tank. Once that's empty, you can close it and then open up your gray water tank. It doesn't matter if that's full or empty. What that's going to do is clean out your black water pipe, okay, from the RV to the sewer dump. This way there's no smell, it's clean, it's fresh, okay? And then you close that valve and you start over again. If you don't have a full service site, you need, and depending on how many days, there's options for you, okay? Number one, if you're camping for 2 or 3 days, you can probably be disciplined enough to probably use a restroom at the campsite for number twos and showers, okay? And maybe just keep the toilet system saved for night use, so you can go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, not have to go to the restroom in the middle of the night, okay? What you want to do is you want to keep an eye on the level, especially if you're going to be there more than 3 or 4 days. You got to keep an eye on it, because if you happen to get full, especially if you have grandkids, by the way, or kids, there's a chance your black tank will probably get full. I have a portable potty or black tank, portable black tank. It's got wheels on it. I can put it on my hitch on my car, and I can take it to the dump station. I can fill it. You got to know how to do that, though. You got to keep an eye on it, because you don't want to overfill it. Because if you overfill it and water gets into the piping system right here, above where the trap is, you're going to have a problem, because you don't know what to do with that waste. It's going to go all over the place. So do not overfill your black tank. Always keep an eye on it, okay? You take your tank, you empty it just like you would, keep an eye on the level of the tank, then you close it up. You take your tank over to the dump station, and you can empty it there, okay? Otherwise, the other option is to wait till you're leaving. And once you leave, here's what you would do. Take a look at the level of your black tank. If your black tank is at half level, I would fill it probably to about 3/4 and or full, because you're looking at about 15 gallons. If you got enough water, do it, okay? Fill it to the top. Then you can empty your black water tank, because what this is doing, okay, we'll get specific now. When you fill your tank up to the max and you open up the black water valve, it creates a vortex in that tank. Things start spinning. There's a huge amount of volume of water that's being discharged, and it's going to loosen up everything that's in there, because most of the time the waste settles to the bottom. But in such period of time, it's not going to stick, okay? So when you open up that valve, it creates a vortex in there. It starts loosening everything up. It starts spinning inside the tank, and it's eventually going to come out of the tank. And if you do it the way I just said, if you fill the tank all the way and empty it, you're going to get rid of all the human waste and paper and whatever else debris that's in there. And then you close the tank and you empty your gray water tank, and that cleans your pipe so that you can wash it and you can put it away, okay? If you do not empty the black water tank when it's full, let's say you want to empty it when it's half full or a quarter full, you're going to have problems, and here's why. You're not creating enough pressure, you're not creating enough volume. So what's going to happen is the water that's in there is not going to be spinning enough, and it's going to spin just a little bit, and then it's going to go out, but the debris is going to stay there right in the center of the tank. And when you're done and you close everything up, that waste is sitting right there in a pile, and you're going to go driving. It's going to spread like concrete, and it's going to stick to the bottom. It's going to get hard, and every time you empty your tank, it's going to stink, because your waste is still in the tank. So what do? Let's say you come across that problem, because that happened to me a couple times. I had that issue. Why is my tank stinking? Well, here's the reason why. I would empty it when it's a quarter full or a half full, not create enough volume or pressure, and feces human waste would be stuck at the bottom of the tank. So when that's empty, I would smell the waste. Okay, it could be coming out of the overhead breather pipe, or if you're going to the bathroom and you open up the valve to flush, you smell it that way. Okay. The other thing that can happen is if you don't do it correctly, is that you can clog your breather pipe, and if you do that, you're going to have a world of problems, because the water has nowhere to breathe. Okay, so it's going to bubble, but the problem is that the smell is not going to be able to dissipate. It's going to stay in there, so it's going to stink. So you have to make sure you empty it all the way. Okay. Let's talk about cleaners. Cleaners, the solvents that people sell. They got powders, they got pellets, they got liquids. This is my opinion. They are all a waste of money. Because if you empty your black tank properly, like I just explained, all your waste is going to be disappeared. It's going to be a clean tank inside, and it's not going to smell. You don't need to use those things, because your tank is sitting there on a temporary basis. Unless you're going to be sitting someplace for weeks and you have a full tank and you haven't gotten a chance to empty it. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. It's my opinion, okay? Maybe not for others, but for my opinion, those products are just a waste of money, okay? Fill your tank up all the way to the top. Here's what I do. I have a hose that's about maybe 5 feet in the bathroom. I have a sink that has a special nozzle on it that I can connect a hose to it. When I'm ready to leave, I turn off my hot water. I take the hose and I put it into the toilet, and I turn on the hot water and let the hot water from the tank empty into the black water tank. I would throw some Dawn in there, okay? Dawn soap is good because it suds up. It gives the tank an aroma. It helps clean, okay? I fill up that toilet. I watch the sensors. I watch the toilet. If I see water start filling up in a bowl, I know the tank is full. I turn the water off. I disconnect the hose. I drain it. I close it up, put it back in the cabinet for the next time I'm using it, and then I cap the sink, because I have a cap on my sink faucet. This way I can wash my hands. Water's not going anywhere. And then I go to my dump station and I empty. And let me tell you something, it works. It works really great. I had this problem with my black water tank, and what I did at my house, because over here on this side of if you can see here, I have a concrete pad for Zeus, okay? And I also have a drainage system over here, so I can connect my hose. I had a problem with that tank stinking all the time. So I learned over the course of some time in reading and watching videos to fill the tank up all the way till it gets to the toilet, and then empty it. Okay? It came out brown. I saw tons of toilet paper come out. This is after I emptied it at the campgrounds. And then I filled it again a second time. And the second time it came out perfectly clear. Not a single piece of toilet paper, not a single piece of human waste. Why? Because I filled the tank to capacity, I caused volume, and I caused pressure, and I cleaned out what was inside that tank. All right? Your black water flush, okay? Please make sure you don't connect your city water to the black tank flush, because here's what's going to happen. Your black tank's going to fill up, and if your toilet's closed and your water is on and your black tank flush, it's going to fill up all the way to the roof, and it's going to come out over the roof, and it's going to be a mess. So make sure you pay attention. Usually, black water flush access port is black and fresh water is white, and you usually have labels, okay? When you hook up your hose to the black water flush, you have to keep, this is after you flush your black tank, you have to keep your valve open. It's a safety feature. Unless you are sitting like I am right now by this valve, you can sit here for about maybe 15 minutes and you can fill your tank up, and then you can open it because what that's going to do is that's going to spin around in the tank and clean out the tank. You can do that. You can use it. Some are good, some are bad. Some freeze up and they become useless. Okay, but it's okay. Try it out and do it. See what you can hear it spinning in there. Once you're done, you can close the valve, turn off the water, and then you're all set. I do keep a little bit of water in there, by the way. I don't keep it bone dry, because what happens is it keeps the valves moist, covered up, so air doesn't get into the valve, doesn't cause any rust, okay, on any of the valves. So, I think that's about it. I don't believe I missed anything. I covered almost everything. At the end of the season, when you're winterizing, you fill the tank up regardless. You fill the tank up, the black tank up, you put some Dawn in there, a good amount, gray tank as well, good amount, fill it to the top on both of them, and then you empty each one. And then when you close it and you're ready to put some antifreeze in there, let some antifreeze get in the system, and then you should be ready to go. We could talk about winterizing in another video. We'll get more in depth into it. But this is the black tank, gray tank etiquette and training video 101. I hope it was helpful. Go to Camping with Zeus on Facebook and look for my video on YouTube. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Much appreciated. Have a good day. Happy camping to everyone.